Yes, hello and welcome to another week of All In. We're back. What a weekend it was. Lewis Willoughby, Sky Racing. A bit of sniffles for you at the moment. We've got you out of bed. Welcome.
Yeah, guys, I had to wake up from my. I basically wake up, I go back to bed. I've woken up and done the podcast, and I'll go back to bed after this. I'm flat. I'm sick. I'm crook. I got the flu. I'm not sick because I didn't back any winners on the weekend. I had an okay day. That hit a shock would have been a massive result had it not been run down. But we're up and about. Only a smallish weekend with the one Group One in Sydney. It's Vobis Day in Melbourne, so it's a little bit of a it's not not an off weekend, but it's just a breather weekend in the midst of a carnival, guys. So still winners to be found, but
The man, the myth, the legend. He's got the new ink. He dreams, they win. Dean Watling.
Yes,
DeanWatling.com.
afternoon, boys. I might start my own service called the Dream Chase or something, boys. I am 7 from 7 when I have dreams about horses winning the night before. Gannon doesn't want to buy in. I owned a Merc a couple of weeks ago. Jolly Star on the weekend. I might just give up the form guide. Just sick to the mind.
throw it
It's
out.
season.
Throw the full guide out.
I'm
So
just going to
Dana
back
needs some
Baker.
inspiration on some new ink as well. I've suggested Dreamcatcher. Uh, Louis is working on his. Louis, how have
Dino,
you
if you
recovered? Sorry, go on.
if you send it out to your subscribers a tip and say, back this because I dreamt it would win, what do you think that they would say?
Hang on, and I'm
Oh,
7 from 7.
Yeah.
If he sends it, it probably
yeah.
stops it though.
Yeah, I only tell a few people. Gano was one of them. He hasn't listened, so he's off the list.
No, keep
So
Tell
if
telling
me,
you're
me
out
mate.
because
there,
I'll
when
take
I'm
any
down
tip
and
at the
out,
moment.
it
I'll
really
listen.
helps me like laugh and get up and about.
I've got a spare spot on the Dreamcatcher's bench. Scanners off. Louis might be in. I might have another spare spot. So put your best why you should be on the team in the comments below, and we'll see if I have another dream in the next 12 months. Hopefully
Sub
there
me in.
is.
Sub me in.
Oh dear. Um, Louis, sad start to the NRL season. The Chooks are so bad,
Mm.
rudderless. Um, like poor old James Tedesco. Oh,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dearie
He was
me.
getting so frustrated. He got so frustrated at one point when that bloke did the professional power, I think foul. I think Piacura had just come on,
Yeah.
and Tedesco's
And get it
blowing up, and
on.
the ref's going, James, he's going to the bin. It's okay. But that was just how frustrated he was at
Yeah.
that point of the time with 6 minutes to go of how he went. At least there was one team worse than us. Enter the Parramatta Eels.
Mm.
So
I was going to say,
we
did our
might not
reserves get beat?
get last, but we could get last.
All right. Back to the racing.
Yeah.
Louis' internet's cast as usual. Back to the racing. The
He's
two-year-old,
back.
the two-year-old picture probably just became more difficult. Really hard to understand who's going to come out on top now. Lads, I give you one tip in a word. Give us a horse. If you had to give a push to who's going to win the slipper, just give us the horse. Dino.
Oh, that's so hard. I'm going to stick with Woden on a wet track. Has to be a wet track though. Dry track, I think it's pick your horse, pick the barrier, figure that out. But I'm not. He just looked like he didn't let down the weekend, Lou, in that firm condition. So I'm praying that we get a wet track, and I think he's still a big chance.
Yeah, no idea. Tempted is the one that beat him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Tentress.
Was huge, really
Ventress.
good. But right. Well, where's it in the market? It's not even in there. I'm
Tempton's in
just
there
looking at
too. She
that all
obviously,
in market now with
yeah,
Tab.
she should
So
be
is
in
it
there.
not
She obviously
going?
won the Riesling.
Maybe Tentress has come out because I've seen a few other markets where I haven't seen it in there, and I was thinking, what is going on?
Yeah, I can't see it, guys. So is it a late nom thing or is it spelling or who knows? I'll stick, yeah, Wotan if wet track.
No, it's favourite.
What about
Tempted's favourite.
Tempted? Yeah, that's what I said. What's the other one you mentioned?
Tentress.
Tenterus.
Maybe
Tentress.
it's not going there then because it's not in the
Yeah, it's
market.
not going.
Yeah.
So if Tempted's the one that beat Woden on the weekend, you can go with that. Isn't it funny, guys, that a couple of weeks ago we went, oh, Godolphin, what do there? Now they win
Mm.
an All-Star Mile. They win both the Sydney 2-year-old races. They just can change very, very quickly.
Louis, Tempted won the fillies, so she didn't win the
Ah,
Riesling.
race. It was Tentress
right.
that beat
Where
Wotan.
is it? Very
Nepotism
interesting.
was enormous in that race, but won't be able to get a start in a slipper. Tentress is still listed as active, but in no all in markets.
Hmm.
So we might know more by the time
Mm.
this is up. We'll know what's going on there. But maybe something is at play. Dino can jump on Twitter maybe and have a look for us. But
I will do that.
um,
Bella Zane's the other one for me, Gano.
yeah,
That's the one I forgot to mention. I think if it's an on-speed slipper like it generally can be, I think that's the best of the on-speed gallopers I've seen thus far.
I think you've nailed it with Watson. His best is clearly with a bit of give out of the track. What I'll also say is, you look back and he was 5 weeks ish fresh into that Rosehill 1100 hairpin 4 wide setup that might have left him a little bit vulnerable flat uh, last start. And you'd imagine like a trainer like Chris would have been pretty soft on a horse that had a pretty tough run that day as well. So anyway,
Mm.
we'll see what happens. Blinkers go on. He'll probably come out and blow them away. Devil Knight disrespected in the market. It's won a Blue Diamond. It's just been given a bit of a rest. Goes around for a trial on Friday. If all these other horses that have franked that form are now at top of the market, why is it not?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? I just maybe
Recency
get around it.
bias.
Hey, Lou?
That's Lou said
I think it's
recency
recency
bias.
bias. You just forget,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
they just forget how good it was because things have happened since.
I think Bellazane is probably you're spot on with that. Like it was 1,000 to 1,200, now 1,200 again. Rosehill, great
Mm.
setup. You know where it's going to be, hard to beat, and you got the right trainers. They're ready to go. All right, let's tackle the week that is ahead. There's not much going on. Coolmore Classic Group One. Amelia's Jewel 350, Lady Shenandoah 350, Lady Camelot $6, Cor Volante $8, Marble Arch $8, who was absolutely enormous last time, Louis. Kick us off because I know you like a couple of these horses from down Melbourne way. You'll be able to fill us in about those, and Dino, you'll be able to come to the top with a winner.
Yeah, leave that job definitely to Dino. My question is, and I guess the
As
question
long
for
as he's had a
everybody,
dream.
yeah, that's right. The question is, where is Lady Shenandoah going? Is it the Ajax or is it here? That's what we need to figure out. I think personally it should be here in the Coolmore because I want to be against Amelia's Jewel. Had just the perfect, almost just barrier trial run where walked, got no pressure. It's like I don't know. It was very strange the fact that no other jockey wanted to do anything in that race and they just let J Mac go to the front with the favourite and control it from there. That's very strange to me. Goes from that slowly run into I'm hoping at least a more fast run Group One setup. So I'd be keen to be against her second up off that soft, slow run fresh. Lady of Camelot was huge, huge, more huge than I think we gave her credit to possibly be against Lady Shenandoah, but still got done. So I just can't see the tables being turned, albeit she was much better than I thought she'd go. So the two I'm 100% against are Amelia's Jewel and Lady of Camelot. I think Lady Shenandoah is ready to take the step against um, against her out of her own age group. And realistically, I think she's not too far off taking that step out of her own age and sex and really contesting a weight for age race. Gano?
Louis, just quickly on that, if Lady Shenandoah doesn't go there, who would you have between Amelia's Jewel and Lady Camelot if you had to split those two?
As starting favourite or as who
Or
I
just
would
if you had
back?
to back one of them, or would you work around them?
I could still find something outside them, and I'll get to that in a second. I would think that Amelia's Jewel starts favourite.
Yeah.
But if I had to back one of those two, it probably might be Lady of Camelot, given I think she was so much more improved than what I thought she would be. So Lady Shenandoah I think, will end up being a genuine weight for age Group 1 winner. So she's ready to take this next step and take on the older horses. The one I wanted to back down the board was Coa Volante. So 3 weeks between runs, coming off a really fast run, high rating win. That was 3 weeks ago, and the race escapes my mind, the name of it. I'll grab it in 2 seconds. After that victory, trainer had come out and said that they're ready to go to this race. So I'm pretty happy. The mannerism is what it was. I'm pretty happy that they have made this a target and they're ready to go here and that she can win against these top two horses. So Cua Volante, Dino, and if she's here, Lady Shenandoah.
Yeah, history probably says that he aims up Lady Shenandoah at Far Lap. I think Chris has won it the last 10 years. I think he's won it 8 times or 9 times, and he's thrown in the likes of Winks, Foxplay, Unforgotten, Very Elegant, Funstar, Hungry Heart, Zoo Gotcha. So he tends to target his best horses up or best fillies up in this race, and they obviously dominated because Chris has dominated with fillies. Interesting one in the market for the far lap was obviously Angel Capital. I think she'll go to that race, which then I think opens up the door to Amelia's Jewel to win this race. I think the dangers of Lentia, she was really good, race shape completely against, comes out of the same last start race as Amelia's Jewel. Like you mentioned, Luke, she got away with dead set and murder out in front. The hard thing is she might get the perfect run again. That's the question mark. You go back to the spring and her form's frank now. She ran second first up to Royal Patronage, who come out and won the Canterbury Stakes on the weekend. So everything's reading pretty well around Amelia's Jewel. And I know you can be against it because you got the perfect setup, but in my mind, I'm just thinking maybe she gets the perfect setup again. So I'm with her. I don't know what price she'll start if Lady Shenandoah goes here. It's so hard going to try and this far out with probably the favourite and second favourite in both these races dual nommed. And they'll probably be dual nommed for final fields too.
Marble Arch was like, and this is so rare because I don't think I've tipped a Melbourne horse coming to Sydney, potentially more. It was so impressive that I couldn't possibly. I want her on my side. $8 is a bit thin. I thought we might have got double figures, and you still probably will at some stage. So no all in play, but I'll be looking to make Marble Arch a winner on the day. And she was just so good, like beating a horse like Attrition, who's come up to Sydney in the past and been successful. Remember what race that was? The Hill Stakes, I think. So around the right horses, I think she can win the race. I'm not sure like what you want to do with it now. You'd probably want to draw a barrier first time around Rosehill, etc., etc. So it probably needs a few things to go away, but she is one for me. Just question marks over Amelia's Jewel, wrong price. Lady Camelot really would be my sort of second lean there. It was really, really good. Lady Shenandoah, who knows if she goes there. Is it a case of James will be riding Lady Shenandoah if she goes here, or what weight will she get?
Yeah, well, she'll get 54.5 kilos. So James has ridden the last. He rode very early, get 19. Are you talking, sorry, far lap or Coolmore?
Coolmore.
Oh, I'm not sure Coolmore. I'm just speaking far lap stakes. Sorry.
Okay.
I know she'll get 54.5 there.
Okay. Oh, we'll see what happens anyway. But interesting race.
What's his minimum? 55?
55, but they kind of.
So 54.5 if he needs.
Yeah.
Probably.
You should be right.
Yeah.
Righto. Let's have a look forward. A couple of interesting 2-year-old races. Last chance for these horses to get into a golden slipper, of course. Artistic Venture, like really luckless. Probably should have won last time out. 350. Strata Verena, Bjorn, Air Bjorn. Was pretty good at Canterbury. 450 at Autumn Blonde, $6. Memo, $6. Karinska, $8. Some of these horses here I couldn't possibly have. Gamers, is that how you pronounce that? Gamers?
Yeah. Gambers, I think.
Was pretty good in behind Strata Arena. The price differential of $4.50 and $15 is probably too big between those. Artistic Venture, though, clearly on top for me. I think she just turns up and wins the race, Dino.
Yeah, it's a good little race. I thought Mimo was probably disappointing first up. I thought she would be nearly there. Stradivariana comes out of that nice Canterbury run. It just went to the front. It was a gun ride. I know they like this filly a lot. I think she can match it. She can go to town. I would suggest that James would probably be bookable on her. I think she could be. I doubt they'll back her up into a golden slipper. I think she might be sort of that 1,200 meters Percy Sykes type gallop. I think she's $15 there. You can maybe have a chime in. I think she's a nice enough bet here to a pretty good price. Pretty. Outside of that, it's pretty limited, the rest of the field, Lou, but I thought Estrada Villarana's debut win was really, really good for Air Bjorn.
Just before you go on, Artistic Venture, James McDonald, Autumn Blonde, Regan Bale.
Oh, okay. Well, Jason probably sticks then, wouldn't he? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is a market. In fact, both 2-year-old races, all in markets this week. I just couldn't find anything to tip all in at value. It's more a wait for the day. I'm probably with you, Dino, with Strata Arena, but J-Mac getting aboard Artistic Venture is always a good push, but would you take 350 now? Probably not. And as I've kept mentioning, I'm almost switching off these 2-year-olds. I've started to stop reviewing or doing video replays for them. I'm just over it.
It's always good with the size of the champagne to come.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
always out of the cot. I've had a gutful.
Lou's just done the He's
Sorry.
just written himself off for pre-drinks. We're about to get to the main party. He's
Yeah,
just
he's
given
looking
up. He's
forward.
gone
Yeah.
home.
We've all been there, fellas. Western Swindon,
We
your
have.
favourite for the Pago Pago Stakes, $3.50. Skyhook, desperately unlikely, should have won last start, $4.50. United States, $6. Seems a little short. Extractor on the way back from Blue Diamond, $8. Quietly Arrogant was pretty good back towards the inside, $8. State Visit was very, very impressive at Canterbury at a setup that probably wasn't going to be, well, as suitable, just sort of being back and in and amongst them. He's $8. Comedy, $11. That is laughable. That price. Congressman comes over. Warwick Farm Run was okay. Kilman, $15 a horse. I want to touch on silly price. It was really, really good. Warwick Farm. I think 7 days ago. Oh, not 7 days ago. Probably 6 days ago.
Mm.
And just the way it won. The way it trialed, the way it tried, I sort of compared it to Nepotism, who came out and was really, really good. Just a similar sort of credentials in the trial, attributes, I should say. So I thought Kilman's probably the horse that is over the odds here, $15. So have a little bit each way on it. State Visit can win the race, probably the wrong price now. Was a bit longer earlier, and Skyhook, like Hawth on the Till, you also have to have something on it. But as far as a all-in play, it'll be Kilman, and then you can back those other two as you get closer to the day. Seeing as Louis doesn't care, Dino, over to you.
It's a really good race. So I tend not to have a firm opinion. Extractor's the interesting one for me. It was luckless in a diamond. It was down to run the Black Opal on Sunday. Didn't run there, so they're keen on that. Don't know about State Visit. I backed it on debut. I thought it was a good win, but the form out of it, I backed heavily on last Thursday or Friday at Newcastle, and it didn't quite stack up, if that's the right race I'm thinking of. United States goes good. Sky, they all go good. I don't really have a firm opinion either. I agree with you. Kilman was really, really good on debut. He can probably progress as well. But Lou, I don't know if you can add anything. I can't really bet into this race if I tried.
Yeah, just with Kilman, I know our mate Brody Nixon, he was really keen on it, but not for its debut run, but for features later on in a 2-year-old preparation and longer. So the fact that come out and win on debut, do you take one camp going, okay, it's really good and ready to go, or maybe that was just a onto the scene and then it still is a horse that does want a bit further and later and longer and maybe just drops off a little bit second up? I'm not sure. But in saying all of that, I agree, $15 is a ridiculous price, seeing how good it actually was. So
Yeah,
you
I think
can't
it's a
just...
size horse, Lou. Like it's
Yeah, that's right.
stamp
Yeah.
size. So I think you're spot on, and obviously naturally second up. But second up with that stable, the profile, it could be a natural a bit of a flatten, but 2-year-olds, probably not so much. They'll just improve with race fitness, maturity, and just turning up again. But yeah, really interesting race. Anything else to add, lads? Any other bets you might have across the week? All in play, give us your best all in play. It's going to be hard to sort of manage them. So I'll take whatever you guys don't want. One for the Coolmore. Who wants to take the Coolmore?
Oh, no, thanks. Can I chime in, Gannon? I've got one down in Melbourne. Petty Young Stakes. Pride Jenny confirmed by our great mate G-Man this morning that's going to be back at the races in the Petty Young this weekend, and it's open $3 favourite. Horrible first up record. Off that long layoff, you'd suggest she's got to be pretty fit because she bled last preparation, but I think Zardozi Nutrition, they both come out the same last start race. I think they will beat her, which is the better. I would probably lean the way of Zardozi. But I reckon you could back both those horses, $3.50 and $5 to beat Pride of Jenny. Ferocier's there, maybe Archer's there, and a couple of others, but looks a really, really nice race for Zardozi Nutrition.
That's your all-in play. Of course, if you want to win the multi, be part of the multi, which we're going to jag eventually. It's been a bit of a slow start to the season. Just give us the winner.
We will.
Of the Coolmore. And a bit of a reasoning why. And you'll be going to the duck race, Lou. So Zardozi for Dino. Who have you got? Give us your best all-in play.
I don't know if it's a best all in play. I'll say Lady Shenandoah wherever she goes, which doesn't help the punters much.
Well,
I did want to mention one
because we won't put it on until Wednesday.
Yeah, so we got time. We got time. I just think she's a standout in both of those races. My theory was that if she doesn't, for some reason, go to the far lap and they do elect to go to the Coolmore, there's two in that far lap market, Angel Capital, which you've already touched on, Dino, and the other one I just cannot let go is the Clichy Boulevard, who was again unlucky. in that surround and still really good, and it's $15 and 380 a place. I just think there's a race in this horse somewhere, and it might just so happen to be this race. I shouldn't say I'm not giving up because it hasn't been bad. It has been unlucky, but it is being costly because I'm backing it every time it goes around and not collecting. So that's, unlucky or not, you're still losing, right? So
Yeah.
I just want to I just need to keep it safe again.
You think this is a setup though, right? Like it's not gonna, it can be written
Mm,
positive and
mm.
yeah, no, third up, pretty sure. So
Yep.
Yeah, third or fourth. Yeah.
yeah, this will be it. So if you drop off,
Hmm.
she'll win, and away we go.
Yeah, let us know when you drop off, Lou.
Yeah.
I'll lead in the way of artistic adventure in the Magic Night around 350. So we'll put those three together. Probably get close to what we get, probably 30 to 1, something like that. So make sure you let us know who wins the Coolmore Classic. Give us a reasoning why, and you'll go into the draw for that. Hey fellas, next week will be big week. The Golden Slipper
Mm.
pitcher will
Mm.
will know who's well mostly know who's lining up. We'll be able to dissect that race just a little more, just to really tip Louis over the edge. Dino,
Mm.
you keep dreaming. If you want
You
Dino's
want a midweek best bet?
yeah, hang on. If you want Dino's Dreamcatcher set, just comment in the YouTube hashtag Dreamcatcher.
Yeah.
Dino, give us your midweek best bet. We go at Wyong, fair income.
Yeah, I'll Basil. I haven't looked at one yet, but I've got one for Goldman tomorrow. Race two, number one, obvious icon. Two, three right on debut for Danny Williams, Nick Haywood. It will go to the front, lead, stack 'em, win, and win well. Race two, number one, obvious icon.
Beautiful, Louis.
No, I got nothing. I'll be
In the
sleeping
comments.
probably.
In the comments. Fix the comments. Righto, that's all in for another week. Make sure you like, subscribe, get around, at least in comments, give us a spray, and don't forget hashtag Dreamcatcher.